The Devil's Candy is about an ex-mental patient who hears voices in his home. He lives with his mother and father. This gentleman hears voices in his house. We're not sure if it's actually connected to the house or in his head, but either way, he murders his mother and father and escapes the house. Runs away from the house. Just runs away. Disappears. This young family, this really young metal family, they're absolutely adorable, this family. The little girl, oh my God, if I ever have children, let it be a girl and let her be like this. She is the most adorable girl ever. Anyway, this young family move into the house. I'm immediately in love with the daughter. She is just incredible. I love the dad. And the mum is more kind of, a lot more subtle. She's not as metal as the mother and father, but she's very happy with her family. You can tell she actually likes the fact that her husband and daughter have a really deep connection and have something so in common with metal. They absolutely love heavy metal. And I love the connection with the father and the daughter. It's absolutely amazing. You can almost feel the closeness between the two. Anyway, this young family move into the home. The family is actually struggling to make ends meet. The father is an artist who can't seem to sell any work these days, and now they've taken on a mortgage, and they're kind of really worried about, whether or not they can pay their mortgage and then, day-to-day living and stuff like that. They've only got one car. So the family is not exactly that well off, but they love each other, and that's the main thing. It's not long before the father starts hearing voices in this home as well, similar to the ex-mental patient. And also, he starts losing himself in time. He's got this awesome studio in this home, which is why I think he wanted to take the house in the first place. Now, the house, they kind of knew that there was a tragedy in this house, that there was a murder, so they got it for a discounted price. The father was in love with the studio. It's a massive place for him to paint and work, and it's not long before the father starts just losing himself in time in this big studio, and just goes into the studio in the morning and then comes out and it's like nighttime. It's like, where's time gone? He forgets to pick up his daughter, and she really wasn't happy, and he promises it'll never happen again, which he fails to do so. And it's not long hereafter that the ex-mental patient actually shows up at their house, and he's clearly very, very strange and unusual. And I'm going to tell you one thing that I really don't like about this film in a moment. Just bear with me. But anyway, the father scares him off, but he does kind of keep creepily coming back into the house. He's obviously drawn to this house for some reason. And the father, who's hearing the voices as well and losing himself in his painting, in his work, and he's actually painting things that he can't remember, which obviously is trying to tell him something. His work, the artwork, is trying to tell him something, and it's not long before you can actually kind of figure out what it is. I figured out exactly what was happening towards the end of the movie and why he was hearing these voices. Let's see if you guys do. I'm not going to tell you why, because this ain't about spoilers. This is about reviewing the film and you deciding whether or not you want to watch it. Now, the one thing I don't like about this movie is the villain, the bad guy, the ex-mental patient. He's the same actor from the movie Identity. If you guys and girls remember Identity, it was an amazing psychological type thriller where all these people are stranded in a motel and they're surrounded by rain. It's a really rainy night and there's floods at each end and they can't escape this motel, and then someone's killing off people but they don't know who. There's all these suspects. You got a cop, you've got a convict, you've got a couple there, a movie star, all these different types of people. They're being knocked off one at a time. They can't figure out why. And at the end, you finally realize that all of these characters, like 12 of them, it's all playing out in the patient's mind, in the crazy patient's mind. And it's that same patient that we see at the end, the chubby, bald guy. He plays the bad guy in this as well, the same, similar kind of ex-mental patient. But I didn't agree with the casting. You needed someone a lot more metal and a lot more terrifying. He wasn't convincing as, playing this guitar, playing this, brutal heavy metal in his bedroom. And it's just this kind of innocent looking, child-minded man. I don't think he suited the part. It should have went to more of a Richard Ramirez Night Stalker looking dude. Really, really evil, like long hair, black metal type guy. I think it definitely should have gone to someone that looked a lot more metal. This guy was a bit too baby-faced for my liking, but hey, it's a film. It is what it is. They chose to go in this direction. I don't agree with it, but you let me know in the comments below whether you liked it. with that aside, that's just one thing that I didn't like personally, that I didn't agree with. Not that I didn't like it, sorry, it's more that I didn't agree with it. I think they could have definitely done a better job with casting the main villain for this movie. Either way, the movie is fantastic. I've seen it multiple times now. I really enjoyed it. It's one of those films that really flew under the radar. Like, I actually never heard of this movie until someone told me about it. I don't know how, because I'm really into metal myself. I like all types of music, but heavy metal definitely hits home for me. Heavy metal is where my heart is. It's my favourite and always will be my favourite genre type of music. So I definitely relate to this movie in more ways than one. On the Bannock Evil scale of 0 to 13, I give The Devil's Candy a well-deserved 11. The only thing I didn't really agree with this movie was the casting of the main villain. And also there were some bits that were ultra unrealistic when the father is protecting the home and this mental patient comes through the door. The father's standing there with a baseball bat with every chance that he can clock him at any time that he wants to and fails to do so. It's just... But then again, maybe it's like a realistic shock sort of factor. You know, he's scared. He's never been in this situation before. He's scared for his family's life. I felt it was a little bit unrealistic because I would have hit a home run there to protect my family at all costs. But hey, it is what it is. It's just a movie. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think in the comments below. Subscribe if you want, but be warned, you will see this ugly mug a lot more often.